What's going on, good people? Eddie Gray back at it again. Happy Friday. Now, regardless if you're a composer, beat maker, musical savant, you're going to want to stay tuned because we're working with tempo today. Let's go. How you doing? How's it going? What's going on, good people? Happy Friday. This is Eddie Gray with resources for the modern creative. Before we get this whole process started, go ahead and sub. Let's share this video with just one other person. Just go ahead and just send that off right now, and then we will get this process started so we can start working with tempo inside of Logic Pro. All right. It's that time again. It is that time again. Time to get into Logic Pro. Let's do it again. Been covering so many different facets of this program. Feeling so good to be here on this good Friday. As always, we thank you for the opportunity to be able to serve you and to serve you at the highest level. We're going to be talking about tempo. So let's get it. So as you know that every project does have a tempo, it's expressed in BPM, beats per minute, and you can set that inside of the project chooser when you first open up the program, or you can change it later when you are working. This is adaptable. There are some interesting rules that we kind of have to follow. We'll get into that later. But for now, you can set the project tempo on the LCD screen. If there's no tempo information embedded, then you can simply go to the LCD screen at the top of the screen. You can enter a numerical value by double-clicking, entering that value, or click dragging up or down. By default, every new project is set to 120. And then just a quick side note, just, between you and I, most songs written today are in the key of C and are also at 120. Go figure, right? When you set a project at a default tempo, you end up writing more music in that vein. So why don't you do me a favor when you get a chance and set up your template so it's at 140 or 90 or 80 so we can start writing music with new rhythms and new vibes. All right, so look, we can use Smart Tempo to conform audio recordings and import audio files. So for those of you that are remixing, that are really trying to make the most of sampling, I have quite an amazing section for you here. But again, for composers, if you're trying to make quick tempo changes, edit beat markers and other tempo edits, we could do things inside of Smart Tempo Editor. We'll be talking about that. We're creating tempo changes using the tempo track or the tempo list, two different things. We'll get into it. Use tempo sets so we can actually change an entire song by merely changing a tempo set. So we can try out one version at 110 and then try out an entirely different version at 80 BPM. Match audio recordings to the project tempo, or match the tempo to an audio region, and then we can record tempo changes in Logic Pro. All right, so let's get right into it here. I'm going to bring you in. Thank you again for being here. We've covered so much ground, and it really has been a true privilege. It's been keeping me going, so thank you very much for the opportunity. Let's go. We're going to create tempo changes with Tempo Track. In order for you to enable all of these fine features, you must have Show Advanced Tools enabled inside of your preferences. Once that is enabled, we go in the Tempo Track, okay? Then it says that the tempo changes are represented by tempo points. So this is going to look a little bit different. If you're used to automating inside of Logic Pro, it's not going to look or feel like that, but I do have some workarounds for you. You create tempo changes by adding tempo points and editing their values. You can expand the tempo track, as I have showed you how to do this, by resizing the lane or the global track. And of course, you can adjust the range of values for the tempo track. So there's actually a way to enter a numerical value and change every single one of these tempo nodes manually. The tempo track also determines the relationship between incoming timecode and the current playhead position for projects using timecode. So there's a relationship for those of you working on film. Good stuff. 723, Eddie Gray reading the Logic User Guide. Show the tempo track. All right, so G is going to get you there. Let's get to the important stuff. It looks like we can adjust the range, right? If you grab the maximum and minimum values in the tempo scale and drag vertically, something happens. All right, so I will take that challenge on. So if I go, so I guess right here, do you guys see what I'm doing here? I'm hovering over this section. It's pretty sweet. And I'm going to drag up. And what that's going to do, it's going to change the value, allowing me to look at this with a little bit more detail. Now, if you're not really, making any intense changes, or if this is not a full-on fledged score, you may not need that kind of range. And by the way, this is all visual. I just want to be clear. And if you're not exactly sure what I'm doing here, let me make it evident right here, my good friends. We can change the range of what we're looking at as far as the tempo. So we can double click either value and enter a numerical value. So let me go ahead and click down here, for example, and I'll just click, let's go 60. And that's going to change the visual component of how we're looking at the tempo lane. We can add and edit tempo points. Okay, so the tempo track, the tempo changes appear as tempo points, as we mentioned. You create tempo changes by adding tempo points and then editing their values. You can move, copy, create tempo curves, right? This is how you would create a smooth transition, by using tempo curves, and edit tempo points in other ways. You can also apply smoothing to tempo points or replace selected tempo points by the average tempo. So the smoothing is really where it's at, in my opinion. And then it says here that you can replace selected tempo points by the average tempo. So perhaps you have a section that is transitioning a little too aggressive. We can perhaps find an average and use this as a technique to get a little bit closer. All right, if we want to add a tempo point, it's as simple as clicking the target time position with the pointer tool. So we're going to test out the waters. It says here that we can click with the pointer. We can also click with the pencil. And there's a quick heads up when using the pencil. Watch the help tag. Don't release the mouse button until it shows the intended tempo and position. No help tag appears when you double click with the pointer tool. Okay, so that's kind of one of the benefits of using the pencil tool, yeah? So let's check this out. Let's go bar 9. Let's say I wanted to go and create a tempo change. Here's the track just so we get a reference. All right, sweet. So I will click one time and that creates a tempo node. And so that's fine. Command Z that, TP, and I'll click and hold, and that gives me a much better indication. I think this is probably the better way to go, because we get an approximation where this is landing, right? Insert tempo at 70. If I go up, right, I can see the change. So let's go up to 80 here. Okay, I'll hit TT to bring me back. And because I'm working in this fashion, and I'll probably use a pencil tool on a number of occasions, I'm going to go into marquee tool, hold command, so I can, substitute the marquee tool as the pencil tool. So I'll hit T, I'll hold command, and then I'll replace the marquee tool with the pencil tool. So now that's my secondary tool. All right, if you don't know what I just said, go ahead and rewind and watch that again. You have to, have the ability to switch both the primary and the secondary tool. You want to be able to move quickly. It's actually a way to access a third tool as well, but generally speaking, this should be good for most of us. So we have created changes here. So let's listen to this. So that hit it right on the money. I want to be clear that the reason this is all happening is because Flex has been enabled. So all of the tracks are conforming and following the tempo track. If these were not Flex enabled, this would be a disaster. Okay, MIDI does comply, it follows the rules, but audio requires a little bit more legwork. If we want to set the tempo numerically, we would press and hold Control Option Command, right, 3 fingers, and click the target time position, enter a BPM value. Okay, so let's say we change our mind. I'm going to hold these 3 buttons, and there's that menu there. You know what? I don't want to, whoa, that's weird. I don't want to confuse this lesson. I want to be just 1000% clear. So again, here's my tempo right there. Okay, there it is right there. All right, and then I'm gonna hit Control Option Command T. No, click rather. All right, and there is that pop-up text entry box, which is pretty sweet actually. Let me go 88. All right, there you go. All right, let's go back to default. All right, T. Wonder if I can just hit Command P. Will that work? No, it doesn't work that way. All right, cool. All right, so let's bring the pencil tool back as my secondary tool. And let's keep going here. Change. In fact, I actually really like what that was. I can stop using that. So let's go ahead and start highlighting some stuff here. Change the value. All right, in Logic Pro, you can drag up or down. You will see a help tag when you do so. So for example, if I set a point there, and if I drag up or down, we do see that help tag. Okay. You can also drag the line connecting the 2 points, changing the value of both the tempo points. I'm pretty sure what they mean by that is like something like this, right? And to change the value in finer increments, of course, we would hold Shift. Let me zoom in to show you that. So without holding Shift, I'm dragging up and down quickly. And if I hold Shift, you can see, is it not true? Kind of seems like it's doing it already. Oh, no, you would hold Control. So there's been some changes. There's been some changes here. So yeah, let's, I'll just cross this out. But we do know that it's Control. Awesome. To prevent unintentional changes, the tempo points are restricted to either vertical or horizontal, which I think is a great move on Logic's part. Great engineering. You can change either value of a tempo change event or the position of the tempo change event, but not both at once. I love it. Bear in mind that you could do a lot of stuff of the tempo list editor as well. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. If we want to snap the tempo points, of course, we go to tempo, snap, then choose a beat. So let's try this out. Where is tempo? Are they talking about in here? Hold on. I want to make sure I'm catching them. In the header of the Logic Pro tempo track, go to tempo snap. Okay, hold on. Tempo. Oh, check that out. Did you guys know that? That is bananas. I've been working with this program for 7 years. You can actually determine a snap value. You gotta love it. So let me go ahead and just drag this over to the right quarter notes. Wow. Okay, always something, right? Apply smoothing to selected points. You guys can start seeing some of the stuff we'll be talking about later. Tempo sets are here. Very cool. Let's see what else. Tempo. We can add snap. I didn't know you could do that. Create a constant tempo. So we would select multiple tempo points. Then we could control click the select tempo points and then replace by average. So let me go ahead and go ham here. Let's start drawing a whole bunch of, different points. Very good. Very good. Okay. And then what did they say? You go to tempo, apply smoothing to selected points. Okay. So I guess without selecting them, let me just go up here, apply smoothing. Pretty nice logic. So if you're doing anything that's redundant, I don't know why it would work that way, but anyway, apply smoothing. There you go. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Replace selected points by average tempo. The selected tempo points are replaced by their average value. Is that what this is about? Replaced by average tempo? Okay, so not sure like when you would apply which, but let's see if they give you some words of encouragement here. The length of the performance is maintained. So that the length of the performance is maintained. But imagine if you're going fast and you're increasing the speed of something, it would change its time, its position. So maybe this is something that we can use to increase the speed, trying to achieve that aim, but at the same time, keep the length of the performance. Again, not sure, need some more information. In Logic Pro, select the tempo points, then choose tempo, replace selected points by the average tempo. Oh, is this? Yeah, very cool. We can delete by simply hitting delete. It looks like we can go to edit, delete, double click with the pointer. And of course we can use the eraser tool. So let's hit TE and we'll just start erasing some stuff here. Let's see, is that going to erase? Yes, it did. With the vengeance. So I'm click dragging, creating a selection, and it is erasing. We can double click using the pointer. And then I believe they said you can also just click one time over using the pencil tool. No, that would be, is that twice? It feels like it's twice, maybe 3 times, at least on my end. Okay, let's keep going. Move and copy tempo points. We just drag them. Let's see, I'm pretty sure we could do the obvious copy C, copy V. Let's see, use the move region to event play. Okay, this is cool. So let's say I wanted to move this set of information to the playhead. If I hit, what is that? Pickup clock. Move region event to playhead position. Pickup clock. Move region event. I thought this was semicolon. I could be wrong. Let's go up here. Let's type this in. Yep, I tried that. Let me try shift and that. I don't think it'll work, but we got to try it. Yeah, so not sure if this works or if something has to be in focus. I'm just not catching what they're saying here. Anyway, this one seems weird. I don't think it's wrong. I just don't think I have enough info to complete this section here. Move the selected tempo point, replacing the previous one. If you control click, then choose extend left, the selected tempo point is moved to the left. Okay, let's double check. So let's see if I click here, control click, extend left. I wonder, let me select this one, extend left. Okay, so it just kind of extends over to the right or the left. Let me see if I can click on this one. That's not what I'm trying to do. Let me click on this one. Well, this thing is kind of like just doing its own thing now. Hold on. Seems like it's only working going towards the left. I think that is a theme. Let's keep going. So yeah, this is replacing the previous value. Let's say you're making changes and you know that you want this to be at a lower value. You would control click extend left and then it would bring that up. Why is it bringing this one up? That's what I don't understand. Extend left. Not entirely clear, I gotta be honest. Okay, that one made sense. Play with it, let me know what you guys think. It seems a little, I wouldn't use that. I personally like making very specific decisions. You know, how I want to control the points. I don't like for it to be done for me. Select tempo point is moved to the left of the previous one, which it replaces. So that, I understand on paper sounds good, but that's not what's happening here. Theoretically, this one would replace this one if that was the case. But when I do that, okay, it did it there. What about here? Extend left should go down. Yes, I don't know. A whole bunch of other stuff happens. Not working for me. Let's keep going. Copy or move multiple points. We can shift click or drag while pressing and holding control and then drag all the tempo points to the target position. All right. I don't even think we need to do all that. Can we just grab them and move them around? Okay. What if I wanted non-contiguous? I would assume I could check those and drag all this information to the right or left. So that's cool. What is the control thing all about though? Why are they asking? Not sure about the control. I'm not sure why. Where does that fit into this? Again, I'll click and drag to the left. Seems like it's bypassing my snap. Do you guys remember earlier I set a snap value? That's the only thing that I see that's happening. I will try it one more time without snap. I would hold. Is it still conforming because of this? Let's turn this off. Yeah, this is better. Yeah, not understanding the value of control and what it's doing here. Okay, so this works, but holding control, not sure. But good, we can move all of that if we would like. And why this is useful, I just want to be clear. Like, let's say this was one of your cues in a score or what have you, and you would want to take this entire passage and drag it over here. You can do that. You see how it's almost identical to automation. So I took all of the tempo curve, and let's say we had to move this to later on in the movie, the film, then you would do it that way. Copy tempo changes from a passage. So how do we do this? Of course, we could do the copy C, copy V, select inside locators. So let's say I wanted to select the information between here and here. So you would go edit. Where is select? Inside locators. All right, so now we've selected the information here, right? Do copy C, copy V, and we've in effect copied everything. And there's some dialog window here that we'll cover some more stuff in a little bit. Yep. Deselect all the tempos by clicking in the background. Looks like when the marquee selection is active, using this key command sets the marquee selection to match the locators. So let me change my marquee tool and go ahead. If I hit, that's not working. I was trying to hit Command D to see if that works, but nope. But we can't create a marquee selection within global track, so that's nice. But you could do the same by just holding Shift as well. Although I don't even know if this is a marquee selection. I don't think it is, to be honest. Okay, good. Let's see. Anything else? Create tempo curves. How do we do that? Right. Select the two tempo points. When you click and hold, drag the tip of the right angle line above or below the second tempo point. Above or below. A curve or diagonal line results, which can be dragged horizontally or vertically to alter the curve. The process is similar to drawing track automation. Okay, so let's say we wanted to create a curve somewhere up here. Let's see, I think this is only going to work this way. I click there on this point. All right, you can see how I'm adjusting the curve. If I hit Command Z, this is going to be a pretty heavy, intense transition. And yet if I click and drag once over, now we can play with the build over time. You can change the snap value, right? If you want this to be a little bit more musical in time. So again, you would just basically go up here and go to snap and set the value. I guess I'll just do 16th notes, right? So that this changes in conjunction and in recognition of a musical time value. Deleting a tempo curve, the tip of the right angle with the eraser tool. You can double click using the pointer tool as well. We already talked about that. Let's go into the tempo list. Key command D. There it is right there. You can see I have a whole lot of tempo going on here. Let's learn a little bit more about what to do with all this. It's interesting. I hit that additional info tab and there's a lot more. This is just generalizing for me here. You can open the tempo list in the main window or as a separate window. Go to window here. It looks like there may be some kind of tempo list. I don't see it right here, but I am sure it's coming. What, can I just drag this out? Yep. There you go. After a while, you kind of know what to look for. This is my first time ever reading this. I just want to be clear. I don't know everything about the program. I never will claim that I will. My game here and my aim is to help people and to learn the program together and you know, to provide some accountability. It's great when somebody's committing to something, right? A bunch of people do it together. And yeah, if you guys need specific help, I'm happy to help you. I've been on a tear lately. #1 in the Apple communities for a couple weeks now. And just check me out under Eddie Gray. I just changed my username in the Apple Logic community. Happy to help with any questions you may have. All right, add tempo changes in the Logic Pro tempo list. So the layout and functions of the tempo list are very similar. Okay. Below are the most important tempo list operations. All right, creating a tempo curve can lead to the creation of numerous tempo change events, obviously. So how do we do this? We want to go into the tempo list and then click on that plus button. and that is essentially what's going to make the difference. So if I go to bar 29, right, as far as the playhead goes, and I click on that button there, you can see I have a new defined node, right? Tempo of which is, I'll do 100 so you can really see that build, right? It also gives you its SMPTE position where it's locked. We'll learn more about that in a bit. You can change the position, right? I just showed you how to change its position. You would basically click and let's see. Well, hold on, what did it change the position of a tempo change? Drag any of the position numbers. Okay, so if you want to change where this is going to be placed, see how it's on bar 29? If I double click right here and I put, I enter a value of 28, you can see that now that has been moved. But there's something else called SMPTE position. Let's see if we get some more info. Or double click in the position or SMPTE column and enter a new position. So there's something else that we could do with the SMPTE stuff. I'm going to wait. Move the selected tempo change to the current playhead position. Again, I tried doing that earlier and it did not work. I guess I'll try one more time. We move the playhead here. It's in key focus, as you can see. I'll hit, oh, that actually worked. That was sweet. That was really good. I was doubting it for a second. This was supposed to work for something else. I forgot what it was. I think we were just selecting like an overall value. Let me move the playhead to bar 1. Let's see if it actually works now. Maybe I was just, maybe because it has a curve. I don't know. Let's just, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. Let's move to bar 17, pick up. No. But it absolutely did work for the other thing here. So let's say I have this new point selected and I want to move it to bar 27. It works like a charm. Maybe it doesn't work when you create an overall selection, but certainly when you select one. Let's do this one more time. So let's say I want to move this to bar 31 per se, yeah? So I'll select that one node. Oh, sorry about that. That one, why does it keep doing that? Maybe I have to select that. Nope. Let me hover like this, and then I'll hit, not working this time. Maybe from left. That is weird. Okay, hold on. Troubleshooting time. So interesting because it's only letting me select it in the tempo editor. The way that I'm attempting to move it. Let me move the playhead to bar 31. I'll hit the pickup clock. Yep, it's actually, so for whatever reason, when you're using the tempo list editor, you get much more definition. This is over on the right hand side here. I'm trying to make those same changes and it is battling with me. I don't know if that's because every single time I attempt to grab a node, it literally is creating another node, but the behavior states that if you click it 2 times, that's how you create a node. So anyway, there's something weird going on here. I think I'm going to kind of stick to the tempo editor a little bit closer now that I'm experiencing this kind of ease with it. Display additional events, right? If you want to see everything, including tempo curve, etc., you would click on that additional info button. Perhaps there's something you want to change. I don't know, but I just want you to know how to look for it. Okay. Delete a tempo change. All right, cool. So let's say that we do not agree that this needs to change tempo. I would select all of this material and then hit delete, and then we're just back to one tempo across the board. I'm going to delete that because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need some more of this as we explain more information. You can actually set the granularity. Choose options. Okay. Granularity. Let me go to 1/64 notes. I don't know what this is going to do or mean. Oh, wait. I saw something go on. Let's try this again. Man, it's just so wild, guys. I've been working with this program so long and it's always something. Okay. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. So like if I set the granularity to just, a whole note, it's only going to show me certain information. This is very sensitive, binary ones and zeros. So I would imagine when I go to 1/64th, look how much data is being recorded. I mean, this gives me so much respect for the program, right? Because I realize that there is a vast world occurring kind of underneath the surface. So yeah, incredible engineering as always. Many thanks to Apple and all the phenomenal engineers. Create a tempo set. So cool. We've talked about this on multiple occasions. Let's say this is not working for you. We go boom, tempo set, new set. We'll call this fire beat. Okay. All right. All of a sudden, now I can start over, right? We don't have to play with everything that we had before. We can say, no, this is going to start with at 120. And then when we get to the main section, we're going down to 90. That's what you see reflected there. All right. We could choose tempo sets, or I can go back to the original if I want to. Let's say we're like, nah, I really like that first version. All right, there you go. Let's go back to the other one, tempo sets, fire beat. We could duplicate, we can delete, we can rename, etc., etc. I was planning on stopping there, but you know what? We're doing good on time. So when we come back from a word from our sponsor here, we're going to hit Smart Tempo. Before we get started here, I want to show you guys something. I think this will be of value to you, my good friends. So this is the Logic Pro Apple community, and I want to make sure that you guys know where to find me. I'm under Eddie Gray. Again, been helping a ton of people here and just working on really making this work. So for example, here we have, is there a drummer that is good for jazz? Okay, so this is where we're going to want to either help one another. There's a vast array of information that you can find here. So usually what I do is I'll look around, and I'll try and find the right solution. If I don't know, I'll just kind of stay out of the conversation. But essentially here, if we go into drummer, and let's see here, we click there, right? Where can we find the appropriate drummer? So we may want to look into R&B. I'm pretty sure it'll be in that world. And then we start to demo the drummer. Right. And I just wanted to make that clear in case you guys didn't know about this community, but there are a lot of very helpful people that are just helping out. Let's listen to this real quick. So yeah, not really so much in the world of jazz. So what if I go songwriter and we go into roots brush? Let's see. About Tyrell. Yeah, so I think that's a good fit. So I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of that, and then I will answer that accordingly. So anyway, I welcome you to come. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. I just want to help. So if you guys want to come over, say hello, by all means, look for me, Eddie Gray. Let me just put this in here, and then we'll get this started. I hope you are enjoying this series. We have been doing this. It's been just such a humbling experience. I mean, I've mentioned it before. All right, cool. I mentioned it before. I thought I knew the program before I came in here, and wow, was I wrong? I still feel like I'm learning so much about it. And upcoming in the next couple weeks, we have the score editor. We're working with the preferences, with the project settings. So much coming up, so stay tuned. And again, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you really want to learn the program, let me tell you, it'll make the biggest difference in the world. If you feel like you've been going in circles for days, weeks, months, years, at some point things do have to change, and that's going to take a concentrated effort on your part, and perhaps you might need somebody to help you get through the gates. So check us out. We're here, we're consistent, we put in the fight every single day to make sure that you get ahead. All right, I want to get back into it here. We're talking about smart tempo, my good friends. Let's go. Okay, good. All right. So yeah, I got people asking me questions about Logic here. All right, use smart tempo. So my good friends, we are shifting into a new way to look at tempo. So sure, we can manually adjust it. We could be the ones that dictate how it moves and how it grows. But at the same time, we can, use technology to aid us, right? We're at a point now where it's extremely powerful and accessible. And so why not learn how to let the technology serve us in such a way where we use its tempo analysis, where we use its editing capabilities to help us take our music, our understanding, our efforts to an entirely different new level. So let's go. With Smart Tempo, you can record a performance without the metronome. How about that? You can have Logic Pro Adapt. Is that a new word? I've never heard that. The project tempo to match the tempo of the recording, or keep the project and flex the recording to match it. So Smart Tempo also makes it easy to create remixes using audio files, MIDI regions with different tempos that all conform to the project, or adapt the project tempo to the tempo of an imported audio file, right? So you can do a lot. So I'm going to go through all these amazing features. Again, really humbling, absolutely incredible. But at the base of it, we can record a performance without the metronome. We can have the track adapt to the project tempo so we can match the tempo of the recording. So we have a variable tempo map essentially, or keep the project tempo. Okay, keep the project tempo and flex the recording to match it. So maybe you're off or you played too slow or too fast. We can actually keep the project tempo and then use the technology so that it matches. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight all this good stuff. Let's go. To use Smart Tempo, choose the project tempo mode to set the overall tempo behavior of the project, and then use the flex and follow settings for individual audio regions. Okay, so right here, important language. As far as the hierarchy goes, right, at the top, we have the project tempo mode. This sets the overall tempo for the entire project. Now, when we get into the individual audio regions, and specifically audio, now this is when we use flex and follow, right? Because it is interpreting information in a different way depending on which mode you are choosing. So if you're using keep tempo, we can still use the flex and follow settings to help us. If you're using adapt tempo, we can also still use these settings, because this is how they are going to interact with the chosen project tempo. So again, at the highest level, project tempo, and then on the region level, flex and follow. Unlike quantization, which identifies the transients first in an audio file, Smart Tempo Analysis places beat markers based on the musical tempo detection of an audio file. Okay, so right here, they've given you the difference between what happens when you quantize, which is Logic analyzes the flex, or the transient markers rather, and then it creates these flex markers. Smart Tempo analyzes by placing beat markers on the musical tempo detection of an audio file. So there's another kind of technology that's occurring, perhaps coinciding. When used with complex musical material, Smart Tempo Analysis can deliver better results than using audio quantization. How about that? So it's letting you know, hey, if you're using some complex stuff, do me a favor. Please use Smart Tempo, and particularly use the flex and follow mode, bars or beats, right? Do not use audio quantization. So right here, we're getting some real deal information. If we're doing something easy, 4 on the floor, fantastic. Just go to the standard stuff that we understand, that we know to be true. But now it seems like we are segueing and transitioning into a new era where if we're going to use complex musical material, aka probably some stuff prior to the year 2000 that wasn't recorded to a tempo, you might want to use the flex and follow that's set to bars and beats. Okay, and where is that located? Well, let me show you. Where's Logic? Hold on. Okay, so let me close. Take out this drummer. Okay, very cool. All right, so you go here. Option P opens up the project settings. We can set the recordings, or we can set the samples, the imported samples, to align bars and beats if we're doing something confusing. This is going to coincide right here, just to be clear, to the information that you find up here as well. So you see how it says flex and follow is on? Okay, so let me turn that off. Okay, let me turn that off as well. Okay. All right. So again, if we turn that on, any new track that I open will now, or should, set that up properly. Why isn't that working? Hold on. There you go. See how that just turned it on right there? Set new recordings. Let me see if I go back to this track. So it's set to off. Let's see if I can go off and on. No, it's only doing it with the new track. But basically, there's a relationship happening here. Again, this is on a global basis, right? And then we can also determine on a region basis what we're doing. So we know that we're going to need to do something to this audio because right now it's just not going to fit the track. I mean, look how long it is in comparison with the rest of it. And so then what we're going to do is we're going to Command F, right? And we don't want slicing. Let me see if I could use something else. And so let's reanalyze the audio. Yeah, so we'll go flex and follow. Yes, please. And let's pretend this is a complex piece of material. And now this should work out quite nicely. Let's listen to just to be sure here. Oh, I forgot about the project tempo, but here it'll normalize here. All right, I think when we originally recorded this prior to playing with the tempo lane, check this out. All right, very cool. All right, let me fix my screens here. Happy Friday, y'all. Wait, is it Friday today? Yeah, it is Friday. Let's go. So let's see. You can also use Smart Tempo with MIDI regions, right? So we don't have to play to a tempo, to a click anymore. MIDI regions always follow the project tempo, so behave similarly to flexed audio files, right? Because MIDI regions have no source audio file, the Smart Tempo analysis and any edits you make in the Smart Tempo editor are saved directly to the MIDI regions and stored with the project. So we can use, hold on. I cannot find Logic. Oh, it's underneath this guy. Cool. So we can use inside of MIDI and audio the Smart Tempo editor. Let me see if this is true. Just want to corroborate the facts here. I'm going into this MIDI region. I double click and there is a Smart Tempo, right? And so the difference here, because MIDI does not have a source audio file that it's looking at, the Smart Tempo analysis and edits that we make within, they're saved directly to the region, right? And stored within the project itself. All right, page 730, project tempo. All right, we're talking about the mode now. So we're going back to that hierarchy at the very top. This determines whether the project is maintained or adapts to the tempo of audio recordings, imported audio files, and MIDI regions. So if we hit adapt and I drag in a third-party software that's in a different tempo, my project will conform to that sample or loop. Same goes for recording something that is not the same tempo. Of course, the click track has to be off, but I'm sure we'll go over that. And you can also drag in a MIDI region that has tempo information embedded. Logic will then ask, do you want to import this information? It will analyze it, and then you will then conform to a new project tempo based on the MIDI region and its tempo, or embedded tempo, should I say. You should choose the project tempo mode in the LCD tempo display. So we can change the mode. Let's clean up my screen here. YI, Command F. So we can change here, okay? And I highly recommend you stay either in keep or adapt, right? You could go to auto, but that's like going back and forth between these two. So let's make your life easy here. We can also change it inside of the project settings, and you'll see that that's reflected up there as well. Hello, let me go over here again. All right. So by now we should already know what all this does. I think we covered a whole chapter on it previously. At this point, it is truly hard to remember. I mean, you know, we're page 700 plus, but let's go over it again. Maintains the project tempo when you record audio or MIDI. So essentially, it doesn't matter if you are playing in the wrong tempo or not. It's going to maintain this project tempo, right? If I drag something in and it is not conforming to 116, it will figure it out, analyze the files, and then drag it in and play back in such a way where it makes musical sense in most cases. Audio regions for which the flex and follow parameter is not set to off conform to the project tempo. Choose this mode to work as in previous versions of Logic. See, what does this part mean though? Audio regions for which flex and follow is set to off conform to the project tempo. Yeah, that kind of stuff gets me sometimes. It's like, so flex and follow is on in this, but that's because I turned it on. So I wish they gave me a little bit more, because theoretically, if you want your audio regions to conform to the project tempo and you change it, it should be set to on. But maybe they're just saying, hey, this is default if you record. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm looking too much into it, but this should probably be read again. And if there's any information that you want to point out, please do. Adapt project tempo alters the project tempo to match the tempo of recorded or imported regions. So this one right here is where the sauce is. If I drag in a file from outside, Logic will analyze it and figure out the tempo for me, essentially. When you move or copy regions, the tempo information of the regions moves with them. Very important that when you're done using adapt mode or adapt project, that you go back to keep mode. Very important that you, right away, you regulate this behavior and go back to default. Choose this mode for free recording, right? You don't have to use the metronome anymore. Very sophisticated technology, and I'm surprised that more people don't use it. Or when you want the project tempo to follow the region edits. So there will be times when you may need this. I find myself needing it a lot in post-production, but you want everything to kind of follow what you're doing, in which case you would use adapt tempo. Automatic, again, it basically goes back and forth. I'm not going to get into that. In the tempo track, the tempo curve changes color depending on the project tempo mode. So if we see blue, this means project is not changed, right? The tempo is the same. Orange means the project tempo will be defined by the tempo of a new recording, and then red means the existing tempo will be replaced, affecting existing regions. So if I hit adapt, for example, okay, you can see orange at the far right here. All right, see what's going on? On the left, project is unchanged. On the right, project tempo will be defined by the new tempo of a recording, and we don't see any red yet. Okay. All right, let's get into, so we talked about the overall right mode, the project tempo mode. Let's go a little more specific with the flex and follow audio region parameter. Let's look at this a little bit, okay? When flex is enabled for a track, the flex and follow pop-up menu is available in the region inspector. So when flex is enabled, the flex and follow is available for audio regions, replacing the flex checkbox. Okay, so let's look at that. If you have an audio region and flex is on, you will find flex and follow is also on up here. If I turn this off, it is going to be off, right? So there used to be a checkbox that used to say flex, no longer. Now we get to follow either by just the most basic algorithm, align bars, or align bars and beats if it's complex. I'll set that to off, and look, there is no flex time happening anymore. Even though flex is enabled, Logic has turned off its analysis, and then I will re-engage it. And now you can see that we're back to square one. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this. You use the flex and follow settings to enable a flex for a region, to control whether it follows the project tempo, and to set whether it additionally uses smart tempo beat markers. Okay, so this is really good. Why do we use this? What is this for? Right, well, you're going to want to enable this for a region. So this is a region-specific behavior and function to control whether it follows the overall project tempo, which you want it to. So in most cases, it will be set. Now, I just want to be clear that in terms of, an Apple loop, I'm not going to necessarily need this. Let me show you what I mean. I'll bring in this loop here. All right, so if I click on this, you can see, oh, I'm seeing some red up here. Hold on. Wondering what this means here. Anyway, you can see that there is a checkbox now, and it says follow tempo. If I turn that off, you can see that it alters the positioning of the loop. Check it out. I'm going to disable. See how it changes, right? The timing. Okay, so that's going to be a different behavior when it comes to Apple loops. If I then hit that, then we go back to the original behavior we were just talking about, right? If I could turn this on or I could turn it off. But generally speaking, Apple loops have some metadata and a code that work with your project tempo. So without necessarily going into flex time, this is going to follow. Here, let me show you what I mean. If I go into here, and let me go back to keep tempo. Let's listen to this. Okay, so again, this is an Apple loop. If I hit that ticker and turn that off, look what happens now. It's not conforming in a perfect manner. I'm not sure if it's using its original tempo. In this case, what is this called? Trip funk. It's at 82 beats per minute. I don't think that's what it is. Wait, did I catch that right? No, it's at 125. So yeah, I think it goes back to its original tempo that it was recorded in. But in this case, we hit that ticker and then now it follows the project tempo. So again, it's not that confusing once we take the time necessary to work on the program. So now we understand how this works for third-party audio and for logic loops, and we want to also set whether it additionally uses smart tempo beat markers. And why this is important is, again, if this was a little complex and you really need, this doesn't work with Apple loops, I forgot. Let me bounce this to audio. And you really needed some extra assistance, then you would go into this technology. Let me hit the key command E. All right, you can see that now Logic is analyzing by means of smart tempo. And so this is kind of another chapter, but this is essentially here to help you analyze files further so that they could be analyzed on a bar or beat level. The choices for the flex and follow parameters are off, right? Not flex enabled, does not follow the changes, right? Let's move on. On, the region is flex enabled and so follows the manual flex edits. It also follows changes to the project tempo. Although this is automatic, there are some things that you can do as well. So just bear in mind, you can actually change the flex edits, the flex markers. Let's see if I could go back to track. Let's go here. Turn on flex. Okay, so I turn on flex and all of the audio has been analyzed. These are transient markers that will follow project playback. For example, if I play this. So again, I'll play with the tempo and Logic should, is this gonna, let me go into the editor, hit D, and I will change everything to, let's do 50 beats per minute. Oh, hold on, that didn't work. Let me click on that. Okay, let's change this to 50. All right, here we go. Oh, that's really slow. Let's bring this up to 80. So I think this is a good example because it's quantizing, but it didn't sound that great. Let me choose another algorithm. Let's do maybe monophonic. It should sound a little bit better because it was using slicing, which is not going to be good for melodic instruments. Yeah. Pretty cool. So again, if I needed help with that analysis, then I would go into Smart Tempo and see if I could use this a little bit more. If I hit that button right there, pretty sure we can play this back at a faster speed. Listen to this. that was cool without necessarily having to use that feature inside of the region inspector, because I analyzed the audio and I know that I could access smart tempo. I really wish it was in the region inspector, but yeah, it's not. And so I hit that button right there. I sped it up or slowed it down. Let me play this in halftime. Here we go. Oh, wait, I think I did the same thing as before. Let's do +2. I always forget if it goes faster or slower. Hold on. There we go. Very cool. All right. Okay. If we then choose on aligned bars, this region will be flex enabled, right? Transients will be detected. It will follow the project tempo changes. Additionally, so this is where the change occurs. Okay, so you almost have like the old way of doing things up here, and then here's the new way. Smart tempo are going to be used to conform the region to the project tempo, so it's more accurate. Okay, this is why you would use bars on align, right? This is why you would use beats on align bars and beats, right? So the only difference between these two is that while this one is only going to use beat markers that are used to conform regions to the project down at every downbeat, this is going to do it for every beat. So obviously the analysis is a little bit deeper. There is no flex and follow for MIDI, right? MIDI is always going to follow the project tempo. It's similarly, it behaves as flexed audio regions, okay? For information about choosing flex and follow settings, looks like they have an entire section on this. You can change the default settings for the flex and follow region parameter for new recordings and imported audio files as a default, so that every single time you record something new or you import an audio file, it's already set for you and set whether they are trimmed to the downbeat. And you should really set it up that way. Right? If I go here, option P, right, set this to start at the beginning so it trims off any silence that's not serving you. Okay. All right, let's do a couple more. Musical tempo reference. When using smart tempo in adapt mode, okay, the results depend on whether a musical tempo reference is present. So basically, if you're going to use adapt, you cannot have any musical tempo reference. Even if it's a file that you're not even using, a region that's dead, that's silent, a ghost trigger, whatever, you cannot have anything in there that refers to time. Because if you do, you will not be able to fully utilize this feature. So yeah, you would need to delete anything that has any kind of recording, any kind of tempo reference. A musical tempo reference exists when the metronome is active, which means that we're going to have to turn the metronome off when we use this mode. Or cycle mode also needs to be turned off as well. That I had never thought about. That's really interesting. I wonder, you know what? I'm willing to bet that I have botched a number of exercises or different things because I had adapt mode on and I had cycle mode turned on, but I cannot remember a specific case. But let's keep moving. In most cases, when you hear any musical material while recording, a musical tempo reference is present. If you do not hear any material, no musical tempo reference is present. Awesome. To avoid having a musical tempo reference, solo the track that you are recording to before recording. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's awesome. So if you're going to use adapt tempo, see if I can hack this for you guys. Just got to find an instrument. Let me turn off some of these plugins. I just want to make sure that we have an easy experience. Let me hit my default patch here. All right, sweet. Okay, so as of right now, there's a ton of tempo here. I mean, you know, it's been recorded into these audio tracks, or I have a MIDI track. So if I open up a new track, wait, I already did that. And there it is right there. Let's go piano. And I want to use adapt tempo. So it says that I need to turn off the metronome, right? And then I go to adapt tempo. Now, theoretically, it didn't say that I had to be in this orange area, but there is tempo information. So let's just try it and we'll see what happens. I'm going to hit record. Here we go. And oh wait, one more thing. If I go to option, yeah, this is set to on. And I guess, you know what, let me just set it there just to be clear. All right, let me listen to my tempo. Okay, I want to play something completely different to see if this actually works. So I'll hit record. Okay, so there it is right there. Proof is in the pudding. That's so interesting. I did not know that. I thought that if you have a tempo reference, you need to move the playhead to a position where there is no other tempo reference, but clearly it's right there. I know that wasn't played well. My piano is off on the side there, but check it out. Pretty cool. Wow, I will take it. That is pretty sweet. Never knew that. Again, you could also do the same thing here. There is no tempo reference. This is how I was doing it for the longest time. So let me play this out. No tempo reference. And you can see that it's creating a tempo map just based on your rhythm. Check it out. Yeah, it's incredible what you could do now. One of my favorite things to do is to record instruments without necessarily having a tempo map. It's like just so liberating. You're just enjoying the music. It's great. When you make recording in an empty project with the metronome off, okay, so make a recording, metronome's off, right? Project tempo set to adapt. The project tempo adapts the tempo of the new recording. Tempo track shows the detected tempo, including any tempo variations, which appear as red lines in the new region during recording. After recording, you could turn on the metronome and hear how closely it follows the tempo. So again, you want to make sure that the metronome is off. When the flex and follow parameter for a new audio recording is set to on, the recorded audio region follows tempo changes, but individual beats are not flexed. All right, so when flex and follow is set to on, right, we're thinking project basis, the recorded audio regions follow the tempo changes, but the individual beats are not flexed. And that's because what do we need to do, right? If it's not matching up closely enough, you need to set flex and follow to bars on, align bars and beats, or just bars. So the audio region conforms at either the bar or beat level. So this right here is probably the biggest takeaway for today, especially if you're a winner, you're really somebody that wants to understand the program. It's not enough just to set it to flex and follow. If it's not working, please try another way. All right, it seems to be a theme around here. Hack it. Find a way to make it work so that you get ahead, so that your music comes to life. So flex and follow to either bars or beats. When you make additional audio recordings, they conform to the project tempo, yes, so long as their flex and follow parameter is not set to off. So we can make any changes. Again, flex and follow, it needs to be on. You can set the flex and follow settings to bars or bars and beats to conform them at the bar or beat level, or simply delete to make a new recording. When you add audio files to the project, they also conform to the project tempo, so long as what? Their flex and follow parameter is not set to off. So flex and follow obviously is a big deal. It's a big feature. You can change the flex and follow settings to bars or beats to conform that they're at the bar or beat level, so they are in sync with the first recording and with each other. Additional MIDI recordings will always follow the project tempo, as stated. Okay, so the next time I see you guys, we're going to start working on remixing. I hope you enjoyed this session. I hope you enjoyed this precious time that we get together, right? I know it's not always going to be like this. At some point, we will close the book on this chapter. We will look back and we will realize, wow, I've come away just an entirely different person, right? I feel so much more prepared. I feel so equipped and ready for whatever is out there for me. And I am so glad that I get to be your Logic Sensei and I get to be a part of this journey with you. If you're liking the content, as always, go ahead and share it. Go ahead and subscribe. It's the most important part of what we do here is that we build something that people can access and come to whenever they need it. So thank you for your support. My name is Eddie Gray. We are signing off. Take good care of yourself. I'll catch you tomorrow. See ya.